All right, we are back, and we got Titus with us. So,
What's up, guys?
quick introduction for Titus. For those of you that don't know him, and I know a lot of our listeners are YouTuber or watch YouTube stuff as well. So, Titus is the host, the creator of Mid Valley Mercenary, the widely popular California-based duck hunting YouTube channel, as well as the host of the new MVM podcast, which I've listened to those episodes as well. And off to the races on that one, doing excellent. So how you doing tonight, Titus?
Good, man. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. And I guess I should say that I feel privileged to be here with two of the best YouTubers as far as duck hunting channels come. Two very popular YouTube duck hunting channels on here, so it's a pretty cool collab getting all three of us here together.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, the whole YouTube waterfowl community is certainly bursting, which is exciting.
Yeah. It's cool because it's like some of us came up at different times, and you look back at Elliot, kind of one of the first channels, and then I can't remember. I think me and Titus started the same year doing it, and then kind of the year after that, you see, I think High Prairie Sportsman he might have, I can't remember, but anyways, a lot of us kind of came up together making the videos at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been an explosion for sure. There's going to be more and more every year, and I think we'll start seeing some drop away too, because it takes you guys know, man. I mean, you can do this casually, but if you really want to build it and get people into it, you got to grind, man. You got to grind it.
That's what I was telling my brother today. I said, dude, you can do one a week, but it ain't much it's gonna be kind of tough. You gotta strike while the iron's hot. I told him last year, I was doing consistently 2 a week and maybe 3rd if I'm lucky, and you could tell a big surge when you do that 3rd video, but it took that much more time,
Yeah.
3
a week is rough.
Only so much time in the day, for sure, and then add podcasts on top of that.
I can't imagine what that's. Yeah, might have to batch those up a little bit before duck season.
You'll have fun with it, for sure. So, before we get too much in the discussion, though, I want to make sure you go ahead, Titus, and tell us a little bit about you. And for people that don't know, Titus actually came on the podcast way, way, way back. We're on episode 102, and that's pretty crazy because you were on episode 2. So 100 episodes later, here you are.
Oh, that's cool.
So
did you plan that on purpose?
No, I did not plan it on purpose. I wish
that's pretty cool.
I wish I could say I had that much foresight in my podcast planning schedule, but I don't. So. So go ahead and, give people a little bit of background about who you are, what you got going on.
Yeah, I'm Titus Headings. I'm out here in good old calming state of California. Sorry, I probably shouldn't be saying that, but a lot of crazy stuff going on with gun laws and ammo laws out here. But anyways, that's where I was born and raised, and it actually, to be honest with you, it's a cool state. If it wasn't for all the laws and rules and, all that kind of stuff, it'd be a whole lot better. But I mean, I'm 2 hours from the ocean. I'm 2 hours from the mountains. I'm 30 minutes from duck hunting. I mean, it's really got everything you need out here. So born and raised, and anyways, always hunted my whole life since the age of 5. My dad's had me out there trekking around the mountainside, and mainly big game hunting, deer hunting, elk hunting, stuff like that. And when I was 9, my dad and one of his employees took me out duck hunting. And, of course, I didn't pull the trigger at the time. I was actually I got that picture. I'm going to have to post it one of these days, but I was wearing a purple jacket. My dad had me in a purple jacket out there duck hunting. It kind of shows how much he actually duck hunted. But anyways, that was the first taste of it, and didn't really go anymore because my dad just wasn't into it. He's really a big-time elk hunter. And then I started going with my friend Travis McDonald. He's on the channel. And 15, and I've been going ever since. Of course, I've missed a little bit here and there because I was in the Army, so going away for that stuff, training, and then deployment and stuff like that. And I'm just a ag pilot in helicopter, and been doing that for about 12 years, and love to duck hunt. Honestly, that's my passion, and I mean, I got a beautiful wife, Sarah, and my 2 girls. They're 10 and 7, and we just try to do my best to, enjoy life, and also be a big part in helping my church and stuff like that. It's like kind of a lot that we do too, several times a week. So I guess that's long story short. That's what we got going on here in California.
Awesome. So, I guess kind of one thing that surprised me is that you did a lot of big game hunting growing up, and you're more of a duck hunter now. So kind of what was that transition like? Or was there kind of like a defined moment where you decided that you were going to stick more to the duck hunting opposed to the big game?
You know, to me, it's like common sense. Like, okay, my dad, I'll have to tell you a little story here. So my dad, he thinks I'm absolutely nuts to be a duck hunter. Like, he thinks me and Thomas are stupid. He tells us every year, I can't believe you guys, and listen to this. This is funny. This is how he says it. I can't believe you guys are walking around in the muck and the mire to kill a stupid bird. And I'm like, man, you know how much easier that is growing up doing big game hunting, like climbing mountains and living out, eating what's that freeze-dried food for 2 weeks on end, not taking a bath for 2 weeks, and then you got duck hunting over here. On top to boot, you may never pull the trigger. I'm right. I mean, that's just how big game hunting is. You may never have an opportunity, especially that he was real into archery hunting. But yeah, man, the defining moment is like bang, 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 you know, and you can shoot 7 birds and you get to go out there and have fun. You're 30 minutes from home. You can go eat breakfast after you limit out, or maybe you don't limit out, maybe shoot 1 bird or whatever. To me, it's a no-brainer. I mean, and there's nothing like, I mean, I think you guys and myself, I know for a fact, we can sit there and visualize multiple moments of when that bird was coming in the spread, or when something happened, when, you know, your buddy fell under the water, or, you know, just, it doesn't compare in my opinion, but that's just me.
Well, the visuals you get in waterfowl hunting. My thing with like big game hunting or even like fishing is like, if I'm having a bad day fishing, I feel like there's not a fish in the whole lake.
Right.
You know, when you're waterfowl hunting, even unless it's just the worst day, you're normally seeing birds.
Or if
Yes.
it's
It's a
Indiana.
very visual sport.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
least you always feel like you have a chance, I guess is a good way to put it, right?
Right.
Seabirds come in, you can call them. You know, if they don't want to come, they might not, but at least you feel like you have a chance from time to time, which keeps
Right.
you really kind of energized for the hunt.
Yep.
I'll tell you what I'm most interested in, being a YouTuber and everything, is I'm interested to hear your story on when did you decide to start your YouTube channel? What was the whole progression from the moment you're like, hey, I'm going to try to do this till now?
You know, what happened is I had always watched, well, I say always, but as far as watching duck hunting on YouTube, I would say I've been like consistently watching YouTube for, I don't know, I don't want to exaggerate nothing. I don't know, maybe let's just say 6 years or whatever. But that was longer ago. Before that, you'd watch it, but there really wasn't a big deal on subscribe, you know, like I didn't subscribe. I didn't even know what that word meant. Well, then I would say I subscribed to a couple channels, and I don't know, I want to say it was like, I don't even know who was around at that time. I'm sitting here trying to think, because I know like, well, anyways, it doesn't matter. But like, say I subscribed to a couple channels, maybe Foul Reality or something like that. And I was like, man, you know, that's, I love watching this, gets you all pumped up. And then I've always liked videoing. I've literally asked my parents, they've made fun of me all the time growing up. I always had their camcorder. I can say that word. It sounds funny now, but I had their camcorder, and you guys are gonna laugh. I would video don't ask me, I was stupid, young kid. I would video myself dunking a basketball at the house. Don't tell me why.
6 foot goal.
Yeah, you know, you can
No,
load it all the way to
yeah.
the bottom and just like Shaq up there just slamming it. And I'd do that, and then I'd video my brother, my sister, or my mom. They get the camera out of my face. I was just that annoying kid. And then like over time, you know, we got all these home videos. We were watching them a while back and laughing, just stuff I videoed since I was a kid. And then I started seeing other people that was more, man, I'm trying to think. It wasn't duck hunting though. It was other forms of like vlogging. And I'm thinking these guys had all these subscribers. They were probably more like big game hunters or whatever. I'm like, if these guys can do it, I can too. And that thought kind of passed away. And then I started thinking, you know, I was telling my brother, this is how it started. I said, dude, let's grab a GoPro and just start recording this. I mean, we have so much fun. We laugh so much, stuff like that. I said, let's just start recording it. So I had all my iPhone and my GoPro 4 or something like that, or 5. And anyways, the first video, well, it really wasn't the first video, but the first one that really took off, I made a real cheesy one, like another year before that, but I just did one. It was a crazy old spoonie hunt we did in the little canal. But the first official one where I was like, I'm going to do it this whole season. Me and my brother, it's that picture of my brother holding, a limit full of birds up in his hand. It's got the real cool background. And that hunt started out super slow, and, we're talking in it. Anyways, I uploaded it just like the old other ones I had. I had 100 subscribers then. And that video, I didn't go viral, right? But I mean, in a week and a half, it had 15,000 views, and I had got 1,000 subscribers just like that. And I was just like, I didn't even know about anything about it. I just knew that was growing. I was like, whoa. And then I'm like, well, let's keep doing it. And we just kept doing what we were doing. And then I got to actually where I was really doing it, for the purpose of growing it and stuff like that. So to the point now, Elliot, like you were saying, to the point now, I actually have built I'm looking at it in a different way. It's now like building friendships and making new acquaintances and going to different places. Those are the things that I didn't plan at the beginning. I never thought of it like that. Just for instance, last year we went to Michigan with a guy named Adam Stam. He had put one or two videos of him shooting old squaw. And that's been my bucket list bird. And he made a comment in one of my videos and was like, dude, you need to come back here and shoot old squaw. And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. Never thought nothing of it. But over time, we went back there and hunted with him, and we've hunted with other people, meeting you guys. It's honestly been a lot more of a blessing than I really ever thought it would. A lot more friends and stuff like that I never would have had without it,
I think that your experience is similar to a lot of guys that actually have waterfowl YouTube channels where it's kind of like, let's goof around. Yeah. And then at some point you're like, okay, here we go. Let's do it.
Yeah, totally. Almost an accident, honestly.
Yeah, and it just enhances your waterfowling and your life tremendously.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Like you said, I think it's actually made me better, and not a better hunter per se, but better just to pay attention to what I'm doing and, I think more because now you're on the limelight, and yeah, a lot of people edit. We can all edit stuff out. I mean, I've edited stuff too, I'm not saying nobody leaves every single thing in, but you are a lot more conscientious, I think, doing it,
So let me ask you a question. I've never thought about asking anyone this before. I think you've been recognized by people in public, correct? I think I heard you say that somewhere.
Yeah. Weird, crazy.
And yeah, it is weird. And I mean, the feeling of getting lots of positive comments and a lot of praise, and of course there's the troll side of it too.
Right.
And I know that you're talking about, you're going to church and all that, so I assume you're somewhat of a spiritual man. Have you ever thought about or been like, oh, I've got to make sure to be humble, and I'm not saying this because I think you have the problem. I'm talking for myself. I'm like, it becomes, if you're not careful, it can become, you can start feeding on people recognizing you and feeding on the comments, and pretty soon, something little slips in where you're feeling a little bit. You just have to double check yourself.
Yes.
Hey, this is not about me. This is not about self praise.
Right.
So have you had those thoughts, and how do you deal with that?
I totally have had those thoughts. I don't feel like I've crossed over to the side to where I've got prideful, but it's something I do worry about, because I have seen what it does to a lot of people. And my faith and belief in Christ, I think, can help me if I let it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
To be able to not get like that and get prideful, because first off, I don't like that when people do that. But something that we may not like or hate or can't stand, we can end up finding ourselves being the same way. So I definitely don't want to do that and be like that. And the thing is, I'm always concerned about is the more you grow, the more people are not going to feel comfortable with approaching you. And I don't like that, because why? I'm literally another dude, another hunter, another guy, another fisherman, just like you. I've had guys comment in the videos and say, we seen you, but we didn't want to say nothing. It's like, please don't do that. Like, I am a guy. I'm another guy. I want you to come up to me. I'm not no public figure. I'm not no nothing. I'm just somebody recording just like you could do. So, yeah, to approach that, I feel like I want to kind of put that out there more this year in the videos. Is like, guys, I did last year. I said, guys, come up to me. Say hi. We want to say hi to you. We want to talk to you. You know what I mean? We're nothing special. We're just, another thing too is I integrated it last year, but I want to do it more this year. Is just like, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Deer Meat for Dinner, the big YouTube channel, Christian guy.
Yeah.
He's got like 1.6 million subscribers, and he does a lot of fishing and stuff. And he's actually done some duck hunting videos, but he does a lot of praying over his food and stuff like that, in his videos. And I started doing that a little bit more last year. It's just something I never thought of, but I think that would help kind of level you out too.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, we've tried to do similar things with praying a little bit sometimes, not all the time, but praying some before our hunt for safety, and then kind of starting the side FDH and Faith YouTube channel for people who are interested in that side of my personality and want to get to know, and it's a fine line between if you want to share your spirituality to like, I want to share it, but I don't want to cram it,
Right, exactly.
So if you want the opportunity, but not people to feel like, well, this guy is just cramming it down my throat.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I definitely don't want to be on that end of it either.
Awesome. Totally agree on all that too. So, switching gears a little bit, let's kind of talk about California. So first, before we get into hunting, you're telling us today that you wanted to go on a little bit of a rant later on for your podcast, but you can give us the Duck Gun podcast version of it. So let's hear what's going on with California.
Okay, I'll try to stay calm. Okay. I'm serious. It gets me so upset. So there's been a few things with California and their gun laws that is, to me, a complete infringement on the Second Amendment, the right to own and bear arms. Not necessarily that they're taking the guns away from us, but what they're doing is they're progressing that way, right? That's what they're trying to do. Maybe not right now. People don't look at, they're just doing this, or they just make you register this, or, but what they're not doing is looking in the future. And one of the things is they want to make sure that everything is registered here in California, but that's for the guns. Anyways, so July 1st went into action a ammunition law that states that every time that you buy a box of ammo, whether shotgun shells, pistol, rifle, whatever it is, you have to pay a $1 fee to get a background check to buy ammo every single time. Not one. I could buy a box. I could walk out. I could walk in. I'd have to do another background check every time. And the thing is, what's irritating me is the minimum word I can use for that is not the dollar. It's not the dollar. I seen a guy. He's a lawyer in Texas, and I guess there's two deals in court right now because it's just past the 1st, so we're only on July 10th, and it just went into effect, and there's two cases in court right now, and it's the California Department of Justice that put this in the action. But anyways, the other thing that's even to me a bigger issue than that, because so when I went in the other day to go on this pigeon hunt, we got that video posted hopefully tomorrow. But when I went in there, I wanted to buy 7.5, 2 3/4 shot to go pigeon hunting. When I went in there, and I knew about this law, but I thought, people are dramatizing it, making it worse than it really is, right? Well, I went in there, and he said, we got to do the background check on you, right? And I was like, I go, what's up with this, man? And this was at Big 5. And this was the manager. And he was super rude with me, probably because he's been dealing with people that are trying to buy ammo. So I get that part of it. But he's all rushing me to pick my ammo out. And I go, dude, are you in a rush? And he's all, well, the quicker you get this going and decide what ammo you want, the quicker I can get your background check going. So I was like, whatever. So I picked my ammo out. And he went in the back. It took him 25 minutes to get approved for my clean record, to get a background check, and then it comes back out clear, and then I had to sign a deal, and then he can sell me my ammo.
Wow.
Now, if you have not bought a gun within the last 5 years in the state of California, also another thing, just so you guys know, non-residents cannot buy ammo in the state of California right now. Non-residents.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Not that who would want to, but people do come here to hunt. Anyways, so the bigger issue that I'm seeing besides just that one, which it's wrong.
So question on that then too, not to break you up too much, but if you buy ammo, can you buy ammo for somebody else and they
No.
pay you or no?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely not. Like, so if we were to, let's just say if I was to go across to Nevada, I say the border, it's like, give me a break, it's the United States, but let's say if I was to go across to Arizona or Nevada to buy ammo and then come back, I've heard two different things, and I got to do a little bit more research before we do our podcast tonight, but everyone's saying it was a felony to do that. I think it's a misdemeanor, but it for sure is a misdemeanor minimum.
Just to transport ammo?
Yes.
So you can't even how do you bring your own ammo if you don't live there?
That's the issue that's going on right now. And they say, some of them saying it's got to be 50 rounds or less. So if you wanted to come in and you brought ammo, it'd have to be 50 rounds or less, But
so if you're coming for a week to hunt or something,
exactly. Exactly.
Well, you just hop back in the car and go home, grab your ammo, and come back.
The other thing is, if you haven't bought a gun since January 1st, 2014, so like if you bought one from January 1st, 2014 till now, you're good to go. If not, you have to pay $19 to get a background check to confirm that what you are buying, you do actually have registered. So like if I wanted to buy 9mm rounds, if you don't have it showing on your record that you own a 9mm registered, you can't buy that ammo. And if you do buy ammo and say, okay, you can buy the shotgun ammo, you have a 12 gauge, you buy it. You buy it, and you cannot. I'm going to clarify this, but I've read it on multiple, plus the DOJ, but it's so mind-boggling that I can't believe this is real. They're saying that you have to wait 10 days, like you would a gun here in California.
So
and then you can't buy ammo again for 30 more days.
Oh my gosh.
That seems crazy.
It's bizarre. It really
so what
is.
if you have like grandpa's gun? Like I have grandpa's gun. It's not registered because that's before registration, right?
The point is they want to know what you have. So if it's not registered, before you can buy it.
Register it.
Well, look, you already have a 12 gauge, so you'd be okay. It doesn't matter. It's not about the necessary actual gun. It's the round, so to speak.
So I have a 20 gauge, right, that I haven't bought one in. I've never bought a 20 gauge. I have my grandpa's 20 gauge. I hunt with it, so I wouldn't be able to buy ammo for it.
No.
So you'd
have to register. You'd have to register that gun. It's
crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah.
It's literally nuts. So
and you can't bring ammo from inside. Can you make your own shells or is that banned?
And I guess that's kind of blew that like crazy. That people are starting to do that.
Yeah, that's what I would be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta move. Gotta move.
So
that or fight, because I mean, what it's gonna happen? It just starts here, right? It starts here. It starts in New York, Virginia, and then it just filters. I mean, it could be 30 years before it ever gets to Kansas or Indiana, but I'm just saying, like, it's just all part of the scheme, right?
Yeah. Worrisome.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah. So
one of the biggest things about it, it's like their intention is to stop criminals, but they just end up giving headaches to normal guys like you.
Yeah, right. And the criminals they've never registered. They've never done it right. So how in the world is that stopping them? It's not.
No.
They can't take our guns away per se because the Second Amendment says the right to own and bear arms. But if they take our ammo away, it's the same thing, right? Unless you're loading for yourself, of course.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's not harp on the bad news too much, but
right.
hopefully you guys figure that all out and
yeah.
Maybe you guys can just take like I don't know, maybe one of those earthquakes will knock off all the. I shouldn't say that, that's terrible. But,
you know,
but
believe it or not, there's a lot of good people in California. There really is. The Central Valley's all agriculture people. They're farmers. They're good old boys. Really, it is. Everybody, you know, and I get it. Everybody throws California under the bus. That stupid state. It's not the state. It's the people and the politicians in the state that is the problem.
Well, it's
People
like
never-
if you look at the charts when they do the voting, right? It's all like coastal cities, and they have such high population they outvote like
blows us out of the
95% of the rest of the state, which is crazy. It's insane.
Yep.
So, all right. So let's talk about the good side of California. Let's hear what duck hunting like is in California.
You say, what's it like duck hunting in California?
I messed up my sentence, but that's what I meant.
Yeah. You know, it's great. Yeah, I don't want to stay negative because last year was just a bad year. So a lot of people have, you know, it's kind of got, you know, but I guess across the board, it sounds to me like everybody kind of had a bad year. Whatever state they were in, it just wasn't as good, I guess.
Elliot didn't.
You had an epic year, Elliot?
Yeah, my best year ever. But it was an anomaly. Most of the people in the state were complaining they didn't have a very good year. So
Yeah.
we just got some lucky floods right in the right places at the right times.
Yeah. And I'm not saying we didn't have any good days, you know, but we had some good hunts, some good memories. I mean, I shot my technical first band, and Rocky found it. I would have never found it. And so that was super awesome. That was cool. But
what's up with the air quotes on technical? Sounds like there's more to that story. What's the air quotes on technical?
Well,
it sounds like there's more to that story.
Because 2 times that I've been involved in a band, one time it was me and Thomas. That was on video. And we both shot at the exact same time. Unfortunately, then we didn't have a shot cam. So we couldn't really confirm, but nothing but GoPro. And then the other time there was about 3 people involved. So yeah, this one was nice because it was just straight up. I am the only one that shot, so because I'm not gonna sit there and fight about who shot what. I do it for the fun of it. It's kind of fun to razz each other, but in all seriousness, it don't really matter. But you know, duck hunting in California, I mean, there's some unbelievable places here. I mean, you can go up north to in that not Klamath Basin, the Upper Butte Sink, and just all that stuff in there. It's insane. You know, if a lot of out-of-staters love spoonies, you can shoot to your heart's desire here. I mean, I feel like we have a good variety of birds. You can go in the coastal line, and I haven't done that, and I kind of question myself, like, why have I not went to our coast and shot sea ducks? Like, you know, I don't know why I haven't done that yet, but I plan on doing that this year. You know, you got Brant and you got multiple other, you know, sea ducks. Then you can go and shoot canvasback, and I mean, there's a big variety here. California hunting can be really, really epic, honestly.
So
I've never heard of anyone sea duck hunting in California before. I know I've heard of it on the East Coast a lot. I didn't realize that was a thing, I guess.
Yeah, I honestly, that's probably why I haven't, because I just guess I haven't heard or thought about it. But we're trying to, supposedly, they said they invited us last year, so we'll see how it goes this year. We're supposed to go on a Brant hunt here. Where was that area? I can't think of it right now. But anyways, we're supposed to be doing that sometime in November, I think. So, and my mind's blank. I can't think of the other ducks too. But anyways, yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say it's popular for it, but it's definitely some options there. Tangle Free did a video. There's a guide over there in the San Francisco Bay that does layout boat hunts and stuff, and there's some other guys. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
So what is the public land hunting like? It seems like it's very overcrowded. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it is. It depends on where you're at, I guess. Like I said, I know people are listening to this, and I don't want to sound like a sit there crybaby, but it can be. Hunter, you know, I've been times hunting where there's a guy to the north of me 150 yards, a guy to the east of me 150 yards, south of me 150. I mean, literally, you're completely surrounded. And, you know, you still kill ducks, but it's pass shooting. I mean, it's really hard to decoy ducks when there's 8 mojos circling you and you got your own stuff and your own decoys, it's tough, you know. And one guy shoots across the refuge, and if you got shy birds, which by the time December hits, you know it can make it pretty tough, man. But then again, there's just those days it feels like you're the only one on the refuge, and for some reason the birds want your spot, and it's just, you know, it's magical. So it depends.
Awesome. So I know I listened to one of your other podcasts, and it's kind of, you guys talked a lot about the refuge system, but also you talked about you have options that are outside of that, and I think it was with Fall Outdoor.
Yeah,
and,
Fall Outdoors.
Fall Outdoor, and
yeah, he's listening. I think he's watching live right now.
Awesome. And so you guys talked about I can't remember where it was, in the Delta or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you haven't done that at all though, have you?
No, I have not done one hunt. I fished in the Delta 3 or 4 times, and when we were out there, it was before season open, right before, and I was like, whoa, there's a lot of ducks around here, you know. And I've never even thought about hunting out there, but I guess it's kind of wild out there.
So why haven't you? Is it just is the refuge system just better? Or because for me personally, I have in Indiana, I have some decent public land places where they do the draw, but you can run into where you don't get drawn, all that kind of stuff. So usually I just stray away and try to find like public places where I don't have to worry about that. So what's kind of the mindset with not using the Delta at all?
Be honest with you, just lack of knowledge.
Okay.
And nobody I knew originally that did it. I just kind of followed in the footsteps of my buddy Travis and just stayed in the refuge system. But I know I was talking to Fall Outdoors. We might be having some of those videos this year, so that's going to be a totally new experience for me, you know.
Awesome.
So that'd be interesting just for other people to see, because you really don't see a lot of California Delta duck hunting videos. I haven't personally.
What's the Delta like?
It's how do I explain that? I know.
Is it like a bay?
Chris could explain that. Yeah, okay, you got the bay, and then you just got these channels that come off and turn. It goes from salt water into fresh, coming back out of it, right? So it's insane. I mean, if you look at it on a map, I mean, it's just a spider web of channels, and I don't know. I want to say a lot of people call it the river. Some people don't like calling it that, but it reminds you of just a bunch of river channels. Crazy.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds. I mean, think about it. If you found a little honey hole that nobody was in, I mean, you could have some insane stuff. But
yeah, and you can keep going back.
The tides, there's tides there too, so you got to kind of, I guess, be careful of that. You know.
Play the tides.
Yeah.
What's your species population distribution like? Do you keep track of all what you shoot in a year, and kind of it seems like you guys shoot a lot more pintails and things like that.
So you're saying kind of the majority of birds that we're shooting out here?
Yeah. It's not as many mallards, right?
No, you know, and people listening to this that are from California, everyone's gonna have a different opinion out here, because it really is about where you hunt. So my opinion of it's gonna be totally different than the next guy. But just for us, we've had mallard holes to where it felt like, looking back on our old pictures, it was like a lot of mallards. Like, it felt like we always shot mallards. Like, maybe not a limit every time, but we'd always have 2 or 3 or 4 in the bag. But I mean, we went out there and had 3 or 4 limits. But it's just where you hunt, you know. And I feel kind of like we're more on the, you know, the pintail limit's low. We could definitely shoot more pintails than we do. It's just the fact that the limit is what it is. But I'd say a lot of gadwall, obviously spoonies. I mean, if you want to shoot them, they're there. And you know, people only been watching us for 2 years, so they assume that that's what we always shoot. And I don't care, because I think they're actually, when they're plumed out, they're pretty cool looking birds. But obviously they don't taste like a wood duck or a mallard or anything. They're pretty nasty. But not if you make what do you call those, pepper sticks out of them. Don't make a difference. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I've got in good groups of widgeon, and like I said, we did shoot a lot more mallards. I mean, it just depends on what the weather is like up north, you know, like if the mallards are here or not, you know. So it's just a variety. I wouldn't say we shoot more than the other. I'll tell you this, we definitely see more shovelers than any other bird if you were to go by numbers.
So do the species change throughout the season, or is it like here in Kansas,
Yes.
we start with the teal, then it's widgeon and gadwall, and then
Yep.
the mallards come? Is that the same for you?
Yep. We don't have that early season. Ours starts the third Saturday of October every year, but it's kind of weird because the teal will be the first big push usually from what I've seen. You'll have your local birds, but what will happen is, and this is what I always say, I mean, this is just me, but you'll see that big push. All of a sudden, there'll be teal everywhere. And it's usually when there's a good cold snap, and there'll just be teal everywhere. But that usually is not around till December, sometimes early December, late November, in the grasslands. Up north, it's a little sooner, obviously. But, yeah, teal, when you start seeing them showing up in big groups, you're like, okay, birds are going to start moving down now,
Sounds like you guys have a pretty neat variety as far as hunting and as far as species. So that's pretty cool. I know in Indiana, like at least where I'm at, if you go further south and west, then you can get into other species. But I haven't seen another species. I mean, we've seen some teal. We obviously have wood ducks early, but besides a mallard, like during hunting season, I haven't seen anything else in like the last 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love the variety. That's what I love about the Central Flyway, and I can't speak to it versus other flyways because it's the only flyway that I've hunted. But it's like throughout the year, there's such a variety of species. But then towards the end, it slowly becomes almost 100% mallards, which is, I love hunts that are only 100% mallards. But at the same time, I love all the early season stuff. I love the gadwalls and the widgeon and the teal
Yes.
and it's really cool. It's like, all right, more mallards are starting to show up. More mallard, and now it's just only mallards. So it's such a variety
Wow.
throughout the year. It's fun. I love it like that.
I bet. That sounds epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kansas definitely has it good, but kind of a question for you on your limits. I know some of the other western states in the Pacific Flyway, they can shoot up to 7 mallards, but I don't think I've ever seen where you guys shoot more than 6 ducks. So how's the limit work over there in California?
Yeah, it's seven birds is the limit. As far as mallards go, you can shoot 7 drakes, but no more than 2 hens. So you could shoot 5 drakes, 2 hens, or 7 drakes.
So you can
As far
shoot
as
7 ducks in California. Okay, I guess I wasn't paying close enough attention.
We might not have limited out all the videos. Maybe get stuck at 6 all the time. I don't know. Which that's not a bad day either.
Nice.
I think that's the biggest mallard limit in the country.
Yep.
I think that's what everybody tells me. Yeah.
Because we can shoot 6 ducks, 5 mallards.
Yeah, you're cut out there a little
you're
bit.
full 2 more than we are.
Yeah.
I said we can
Pacific-
only shoot 5 mallards.
Oh, is it 5? I thought it was 6 over there.
Nope.
6 ducks,
Oh,
5 mallards.
wow, okay.
So when we're in the heavy mallard time, and you're limiting out, it's typically 5 birds each, and then you're just constantly eyeballing for a bonus duck. You want to try to get your bonus duck whenever you can, no matter what species it is.
Even if it's right off the bat or whatever.
Yeah, even if it's right off. Well, I mean, normally if it's 99% mallards, then yeah, you're constantly looking for that bonus so you can get 6 ducks.
Gotcha. Okay.
And like my video last year, the year before last, we were in that situation where we were just shooting all mallards, and I had a little widgeon hen come and land right in, and I water swatted her and killed her, and I ended up shot my 6th bird, which was a pintail drake, which was my bonus, and so instead of ending up with my five mallard drakes and pintail bonus, which is about as good as you can do when it's only 1 pintail limit. That's like grand slam, 5 drakes and a pintail drake. But I was so mad that I'd swatted that stupid widgeon because there were still mallards all over the place. But I shot my limit, so I wasn't really that mad. But
Right.
could have been that much better.
Yeah.
Speaking of limits, real quick, don't want to get too far off topic, but I noticed that the limit for pintail in the Mississippi Flyway is down to 1 again this year. Where are you guys at on that?
Yep. We went back to 1 this year.
What about you, Elliot?
Yep, we went back to 1 as well.
Okay. Well, doesn't matter for
And
me
it sucks
I never
because
see 'em,
last
so.
year was our worst year pintail hunting. The year before we were covered in pintails,
Yep.
and it was 1. And then last year it goes to 2, and I didn't shoot a single pintail all year.
Yeah.
That was it. That's funny because ours is exactly the same way. It was, excuse me, but it wasn't like there wasn't pintails. I'm not saying that, but like we could have shot 2 apiece every single time the year before last, and then last year it was 2, and we just like the opportunities weren't there. It's crazy. So I'm sure this year's gonna be like pintails landing on our heads this year. We can shoot
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Now, do you see pintails throughout the entire season, or are they gone at some point?
No, they'll stay all the way. Like once they get here, they'll stay. Yeah.
They sweep through here in October and early November, and then they are gone. And then they will show up reverse migration at the end of January. So if you don't get them early, if I don't have one by the second week of November, typically, you're not going to get one.
Wow. And do you have big numbers of pintail?
I mean, considering their population sizes, the central part of the state does. I have seen big numbers of pintails, but then some years I don't see very many. And I know that's not all population based. It's just when they come through. But there have been times where we've seen great numbers. But last year we didn't see near as many. And I don't think that's necessarily because the population went down. I think it's just migration and when they happen to slip through.
Yeah.
And on the east side of the state, which I'm on the east side, right at Missouri-Kansas border, we don't see pintails hardly at all. But the central part of the state, where they flock through there quite a bit.
Gotcha.
I actually saw my first pintail last year during season, so there's my contribution to the pintail conversation.
Yeah, we got to get Jordan one. We got
Yes.
This is the year. I think hopefully on that big event, maybe there'll be some pintails around at that time. And
That's gonna be
Yeah.
a viral video right there.
yeah.
We can only hope. So
Better
I think
take like 5,000 pictures for thumbnails.
I probably should, yeah. So before we jump into the lightning round, you got any big plans coming up this season?
I'm definitely gonna try to do. I got 2 trips planned out of state, and hopefully a third. So that's gonna be quite a bit of content and probably some podcasts too. And got some other big news too. There is a lot of things going on. I feel like I kind of feel bad because I can't really feel like I can say something yet, but there is definitely a lot of stuff going on. I don't know. I expect major things to happen this year with growth and just community and everything. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. And we will kind of, drop a little hints on one of those events. The 3 of us will be hunting together, and some other stuff as well. So, but more to come on that. So
Yes.
I'm so excited about that. I can't even tell you. It's like it's tomorrow. That is going to be so much fun.
That's what I said, man. I told you guys I'm getting pretty anxious here. I don't know what's the holding factor. I think it's Jordan. He's blaming it. He's blaming you, Elliot. But I think
I know. What's up?
I was joking. I was joking. Maybe everybody else does.
You know what?
Yeah,
We'll
'cause
just
they
throw
don't.
Matt under the bus since he's not here. Matt and
Yeah.
Thomas.
Anytime Jordan asks me, he's like, well, should we do this or do this? I'm pretty much, well, whatever you think.
Yeah, well, I didn't ask, so I could just throw it under the bus, right?
Yeah. Big news is a coming, though, for sure.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so lightning round. You've done it before, so we'll do it again. It's been a while. The podcast's grown a lot, so I'm sure people would love to hear all your answers on it. What kind of shotgun do you shoot?
Browning A5.
That a boy. And what's your dream shotgun?
Browning A5. No. I guess since I don't have it, I guess you got to come up with something else. A Browning Satori would actually be awesome to have. It wouldn't be a very good duck gun, but I've shot one before. A person I knew let me use it shooting skeet. I was like, whoa, it was crazy. I actually shot 20. The high house, low house. I actually shot 23 out of 25. I was like, man, this gun just basically does it for you.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the right choke. You know what I mean? It wasn't me. I could tell you that right now because that's not normal.
Was that a 20 or a 12 gauge?
It was a 12. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I just feel like
I'll tell
can't
you what.
miss.
I'll bring it when we hunt, and you can hunt with it.
Do you have a Satori?
Yeah, just don't drop
Really?
it. It's my grandpa's, so.
No, I better not.
No, I'll let you hunt with it. It'll be good. So.
My dad's got a 20 Satori.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Those
Great
are like
little quail gun.
oh,
Little 20 gauge.
those are awesome.
Yeah. My dad actually has a Satori 20 as well. Matches the 12.
That's awesome. Probably all walnut. Is it a walnut?
Uh-huh.
or-
Yeah, no,
That's
it's from
awesome.
1970.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
it's
probably
a-
worth more than what he paid for, I'm sure, huh?
Oh, yeah, it is for sure, yeah. Alrighty. What kind of what do you use for duck loads?
As far as the shell, I like 3-inch threes. I know it's kind of a random number. I'll use 2s, and if they don't have 3s, and then the dry locks. I pattern my gun with my stock factory choke and dry locks out of my specific gun. I know I got to make that clear. Everybody gets all worked up, but out of my gun, my choke that was straight from the factory, dry lock 3-inch 2 or 3-inch 3 shot patterns like crazy good, really
Awesome.
good. So
And do you have a preference? Do you like ducks or geese better?
ducks.
Probably a teal, right?
Mallards.
I should have said spoonbill, but no.
You should have, yeah.
Too late.
I should have just said that to get everybody worked up.
And what's your favorite terrain to hunt in?
I haven't hunted in it, but I really, really, really want to. Is timber, flooded timber. So I don't know if that really gives the answer because I feel like I haven't hunted all terrain, so I can't
I don't
say.
know.
But
I feel like
see-
everybody we've talked to says timber's terrible.
really,
Yeah,
No, I'm
right.
just kidding.
No.
Every guest and their brother is
that
like
seems like that'd be terrible for mallards to just fall straight out of the heavens back
Yeah.
there
at 10 yards with
bad
nowhere
dream.
to go. Awesome. Face paint or no face paint?
I don't know. That's my opinion's changed on that. I'll just say face paint.
That's all
I
right.
don't know. It's kind of a pain wiping off too, but whatever.
Hey, already face paint comes off pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Not a product push or anything, but I mean, it comes off good. So
Yeah, it does.
compared
it
to
does
the other
come out
ones, I think I'm missing one, but we'll just jump to the end question. So most memorable hunt.
Ever?
Yeah, we'll go with make it waterfowl, I guess, specific.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking that's gonna be. Oof, you should have prepped me for that one. Man, that you put me on the spot. on that
Here
one.
I'll start you out. It was a bluebird day, and in drops 6 spoonbills and
Oh man, you know what? That's tough, and I may change my mind later. But as for now, I'll just say that hunt me and my brother went on. The original video I was telling you guys about. That was very memorable for the fact that it was so dead and we did so bad in the morning. Didn't want to stay. Thomas wanted to go home, or I wanted to go home. He's like, no, we're staying. We drove all the way up here 3 hours. He said, we're staying. Whatever. And we stayed, and it was just lights out, and then shot that banded pintail. So I would say that was pretty awesome.
that sounds like a pretty awesome hunt.
Yeah, limited out. It was good.
Awesome.
Strong,
All right.
strong north wind landing in her face. Can't.
There you
can't
go.
ask more.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you coming on. Been a great podcast having you on. So go ahead, let people know where they can find you across all of social.
You guys can find us on Instagram at Mid Valley Mercenaries, and Facebook. We're also Mid Valley Mercenaries, and then YouTube. Type in Mid Valley Mercenaries with an E. Kind of easy. That's kind of a long name. I wasn't really thinking too well when I came with that last one. Everyone's like, I don't know how to spell this stupid name. I was like, yeah. I wasn't as smart. If you notice, I've been starting to go MVM a lot. So
Nice. Yeah, and so don't forget to say.
in our podcast
yeah,
too.
the podcast.
Yeah, it's the THE MVM show. So yeah, check us out.
Awesome, and give you some high praise on that. He's been pumping them away and getting really rolling on the podcast as well, and putting out some great content. So definitely, if you guys are enjoying waterfowl content on podcast, go check them out. You won't be disappointed. And also, he's already said it, but his YouTube, phenomenal California hunts. So make sure to check him out.
Appreciate that.
All right. Any parting words, Elliot?
I don't think so. We're waiting for the green light from Jordan, and then we can drop the bomb.
All right. All right, guys. Well, that's all we got for tonight. I'm Jordan from Duck Gun Chronicles, Elliot from Freelance Duck Hunting, and Titus from Mid Valley Mercenary, and we'll see you guys on the next one.